Hi there! Today I'm going to be telling you the story of Bertha Benz. Well, I can't get through it all today because she was a phenomenal woman. She was the wife of Carl Benz, the maker of the first patented motor wagon. Back in 1888, Bertha Benz took the first road trip in any motorized vehicle and made history in doing so, making it possible for us to get from point A to point B in very little time. So in 1888, Bertha and Carl are now married. They have 2 sons at this point, and Carl is slowly working on this motor. He has a carriage motorized. Of everyone doing it in these days, they would only test them small amounts. Engineers would be present. They would take the cart just a small way and stop it and do calculations and go back to the engineering feat of motorizing a wagon. Well, Bertha, being a visionary, thought that there needed to be a little push. So one day when Carl was away, she got the 2 boys, she loaded in the patented motor wagon and took off to go 66 miles to her mother's house. Now you got to remember, there were no roads or interstates, traffic signs. It was illegal for her to do this. She didn't have a permit, nor did anyone know. But she took off nonetheless because she knew her husband's company needed this push. People needed to know that this was going to be a viable form of transportation. Along the way, as you can imagine, there were many things that went wrong. First off, running out of fuel. So she went to a pharmacy to get Ligroin, which was what would fuel the car in this day, that becoming the first filling station in history. Bertha used her hat pin to clear a fuel line. She used her garter belt to tie and to keep some things together. She also had to go to a blacksmith to get a chain fixed. She went to a shoemaker to get leather put on the brake pads so that they would be more responsive. And she used herself and her son, one of her sons, to push the wagon up the hill as there was no second gear. When she got to her mother's house after a long day of trials and figuring it out, she telegrammed her husband Carl and said they had made it safe. You can imagine he was none too happy, but her journey there and then again home proved that a motorized wagon was going to be the wave of the future. But she didn't just do it for that. She documented along their journey everything that went wrong and went back to Carl and his group and made recommendations for what could be improved moving forward on the motor wagon. You know, Mercedes-Benz wouldn't be what it is without a woman like Bertha Benz back there in those founding days, and someone to support Carl. There are so many amazing things in this world that women bring. Why don't you comment below and let me know something that you do as a woman or some woman you know and love that makes this world a better place. Tune in next time for another episode of MeKaye, Benz Fangirl.